Intellectual Airheads podcast, starring me, Kelly McKee, and my best friend of almost 20 years, Amanda Katz.
Yeah, we've been a long time running.
17 years to be exact, but Amanda's like,
no, I said that she was like, okay, it's been 17 years, so I'm going to say that at the beginning. And I was like, 17 years sounds like when there's like a toddler and he's like, I'm 4 3/4. Like,
oh my gosh. Okay, so earlier I did a FaceTime call with Amanda's sister, Taylor, to help her with like the school project thing. And I saw you in the background at one point. Did you hear me say this?
Yeah. I was in the background the whole time, but Taylor was like, do you think she would care if you're like here? And I was like,
no.
I didn't think you would, but I also was like, I probably should be like more professional and just like not be like, hey Cal, what's up? But it was funny. I listened to like the whole entire conversation. Oh
my God, that's so funny. I thought I heard you laughing at one point, but I literally just see Amanda's head in the background doing stuff, and I'm like, I feel like I'm like in a Zoom class and I'm like seeing someone's cat or dog.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at that little thing in the back.
That's the best thing about Zoom classes. Yeah, Taylor basically had that whole conversation with me on Sunday too, because like we have very similar like eating problems. Like yours I think is a little bit worse than mine, but I like the reasoning behind why we're poor at eating I think is very similar, because we both just hate cooking.
Yeah.
And I've been doing the thing too where I don't want to cook, so I wait until I'm starving to get the motivation to finally do it. And then I'm like, I need something in 2 seconds, or it's like not going to be like, I'm just not, yeah. And so Taylor didn't mention this like on the thing, but I was saying one of the things that I think would be better for me to do is getting some kind of snack to have while I'm cooking. So I have something that's like gonna like stimulate that thing where I'm like not so hungry while I'm in the middle of it, and then I can actually cook and do the thing. But then I'm bad at buying snacks. It's just like,
I love snacks. That's all I ever want to eat, but not good snacks.
Yeah, what kind of snacks do you usually eat?
Like chips, but what kind of chips is? What
kind of chips?
Barbecue chips, Cool Ranch, blue Cool Ranch Doritos, because I had to stop eating.
I love the Cool Ranch.
I don't know, just like chips like that. But a good snack is I stole this from Lex, is the buffalo. I know. Okay, so obviously we still have Frank. I know. Come for me in the comments. But this will really be the last time. Unless we just fucking keep him. But a really good snack is the pretzel crisps.
Yes.
The buffalo wing pretzel crisps.
The thin
with
ones.
Hummus.
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like hummus is a good snack.
It is 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I heard recently? That chickpeas make your boobs nicer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got some chickpeas. But yeah, so her sister is like about to be a dietitian. I was like, I feel like you're a doctor. You just got to reverse the letters.
Yeah.
RD to DR. And oh my God, Frank is going to wreak havoc. Like, gosh. But yeah, so we were talking about food stuff. And like, basically my issue is just I take ADHD medication since I was in 3rd grade, which made me like never want to eat and had no appetite. And it hasn't gotten better until like 2 years ago, even though I stopped taking it 10 years ago. And that's what I was thinking about after was, why wasn't Taylor's appetite so affected? She
started taking Adderall when she was 3 or 4, I think, like that young. But she started to refuse to take it when she was like 12 or 13.
And just stopped.
She was just like, I don't want to take this anymore. Like, hated the way it made her feel.
Yeah, I hated it.
And
that was how I was too,
she also was so bad at taking pills, so they would have to like open it up in a capsule and like put it in pudding and like
so
stuff like that. And so she was just like, I'm not taking this anymore. And so she's had a longer time where she's been off it.
Yeah, because I took it all the way through high school.
Taylor was the pickiest eater growing up. Like, this is also all like her like nutrition stuff and has been so recent. This girl ate peanut butter and jelly for lunch every single day of her life. Like every single day until she was in like 8th grade.
Yeah, Taylor just woke up one day and said, I don't have ADHD.
No, she literally did. And like, props to her, because it was
I can't relate at all.
It was
I can't
bad.
relate at all. But yeah, so that was, I just wanted to say that because I thought that it was so cute. And she slayed that. Frank.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job too.
Frank was literally just hanging from my pants with his claws with one arm.
I tried to tire him out before this episode, but he's such a kitten right now. He just is like play all the time. And so I thought, I'm like, oh, he'll be chill now because I played with him for like 3 minutes before we started. And it doesn't seem like that's the case.
And when we're talking, like, also Frank's favorite people are me and Amanda. Like, I spend so much time with him because Ian's working. Ian does spend a lot of time with him too because like after like, I don't know, whatever. And Amanda's obviously the person he's supposed to be with. So he gets really excited when we're in here and we're talking.
Just like you guys do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I was telling Amanda I went to my friend's.
He's an airhead.
Yeah, he is literally the number one airhead. But it's funny because I was telling Amanda how I was at this party last night for one of my friends, and you know when you just like go to one of your friends' parties and it's like you don't know their friends, it's just always like kind of like a weirdness to like try to like, I mean, I do really good. We were saying I'm really good at it. I don't really let an awkward
Libra
moment
social
happen.
butterfly.
Yes, Libra social butterfly. But when everybody knows each other and like you're just like one of the people that don't know everyone, like it kind of just is like, oh my gosh, what do I do with myself right now? But I did have 2 other friends at the party that I was talking to a lot, and there was like one point we were like all painting and we were sitting at this table and there was 3 other people sitting at the table with us, but like they weren't talking at all. Like they were not speaking at all, and it was just me and my 2 friends talking a lot. And then like I was thinking after, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's kind of so embarrassing that I just sat there and talked so much, like, and these girls were obviously just like listening, but not chiming in, and I felt so embarrassed about it. And then I was like, but actually it's kind of like an episode of my podcast.
No, fully entertainment. Like I think they would have preferred that over them everyone just sitting in silence. Like that's so awkward. That just reminds me of this one time that
it's stressing me out. I'm so sorry, you guys.
I was on a bus, like leaving New York City and going back to New Jersey when I was like visiting my aunt. And me and Antonice get deep. Like we talk about
get him. He's fully climbing. Do you guys see this? This is why our curtains are fucked up and we need to order new curtains. Because this cat, Frank's going to jail.
Frank, we're gonna calm down, okay?
Okay, I'm so sorry. And I'm so sorry if you're listening to this
audio,
like just audio. Just go to the YouTube for the first 10 minutes. Hopefully it's gonna get better. Okay, so you and Antonice get very deep.
Okay, yeah, we go into it. We get deep. Obviously, she's my aunt. She's known me since I was born. Like, she knows my whole childhood, everything that's gone on in my life. So one day we were on the bus back from New York City into thing. I was giving her everything about my life, like just going in. And you know, buses during the day, you know, there's other people chit-chatting. At night when all the lights are off, there's no one talking. I was talking at full volume.
I was going to say, man, I was probably screaming.
Whole time. And I got off and I was like, oh my God. Everyone on that bus just had to hear my whole life story. Like whole life story. But you're welcome.
Oh my gosh. And that reminds me of, so the other, like a couple episodes, the election episode, we were talking about how our friend had an election watch night party. We were playing some games and it was like one of those games where like everybody like votes on like who this card fits. And there was one that said like who would like talk to the person next to them for like a 5-hour plane ride or something. Yeah. And of course I got the most votes for that one, and that was so funny because I was like with like my friends, and it's like, wow, even you guys know. Like,
no, so at first when we were starting to play that game, I was like, oh, this might not be fun because I don't know any of these people, so I don't know who's most likely. But it's kind of fun just like judging off of like the few minutes that you've talked to them. It was kind of more fun that way.
And I feel like a lot of cards ended up being me with the most votes anyway. Yeah. So it was like you knew who to go for.
Yeah.
But, and then like after I got that card, I was like, no, there was one time when I was flying to New York City and like by myself, and I met this girl on the plane and I talked the entire time. And also, flight to New York City is not that long. It's like,
it was like Florida. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours. And this guy got up and like from like 4 rows away and was like, can you please talk quieter? And people around were thanking him.
Oh my God, Kelly. That is so embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
That is like, so embarrassing.
This was when I was probably like how old was I how old were you when you lived in New York?
22?
Yeah, I feel like it was very early 20s. Like it was definitely a time of my life where I had like barely any self-awareness. And it's so funny because I remember the girl that I was talking to on the plane was talking so quietly that it was annoying me because I couldn't hear her.
Yeah.
But she was trying to signal cue, like social cue to me.
Yeah.
To talk fucking quieter, bitch, without saying that to me because
Wait,
like
that's
obviously.
so funny.
Yeah. So embarrassing. So many things that I've done. But now like I'm very, very aware of my volume levels because there was then a point where I would ask people, I would be like, do not be scared to tell me to lower my voice in public because I have no awareness of how loud I am.
Even yesterday at work, I was like, said something and I was like, oh my God, that was so loud. And my coworker was like, yeah. I was like, whoa, girl, go off. And I was like, don't mean to.
Amanda talks so loud and like I will be like, Amanda, like talk quieter. She doesn't listen. She doesn't even change it. She doesn't change it.
No, and I told you the other day that one of my managers, we were doing like every like 6 months they would do like a little meeting with like each person and kind of just like go over stuff, like leave the floor open if you have anything to say and just like feedback that they're gonna give you. And the one guy, the owner, was like, I know you have a really interesting life, but if I can hear you talking to everyone about it, then so can the guests.
Oh my God.
And I was like, well, thanks for saying I have an interesting life, but I know I do need to be quieter.
It's like, we're just promoting the podcast. Like, we need to talk loud so people would be like, where can I hear more of this? And I'll say, I actually have the perfect way for you to hear more of this. So yeah, I kind of had like a short spiral, but also like not caring what people think is like going so strong for me right now. Like I feel like trying to not care what people think has been something I've been working on for like, it's probably since I started therapy, like in some way.
Yeah.
You know? But right now it's at the point where like I start to stress over what people like could possibly think about me. And then I'm like, wait, I actually don't care about that. And then it goes away.
Yeah.
That's when it's real.
No, I really think, like I texted you this last night, that I think it's a whole like epidemic, like, not epidemic because that sounds like a bad thing, but like a whole shift going on right now where especially women, I think we're like done people pleasing, and it's been so ingrained in all of us for so long.
Yeah.
And me and my coworker were talking about it. Kelly's been talking about it. And then I walked by a table randomly yesterday and the girl was talking to her other girlfriends and was like, I'm done people pleasing. And I'm so here for it. Like it's so good.
Yeah, and I think that it might be like part of the universal shift with like the Pluto thing, but I also feel like the election results, unfortunately,
agreed.
Had a lot
but
to do
that
with
can
it
also
for me.
play into like it
Yes,
too,
yes,
you
because
know?
a lot of the like astrology, spirituality people like before the election were predicting that like something crazy was gonna come.
Yeah.
Frank is really being Frankenstein right now.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep him from playing with the wires, and I guess he's just gonna bite my hand instead.
Yeah, because if you don't follow us on Instagram at Intellectual Airheads, you should, and then you would have maybe seen the behind the scenes photo of what our podcast studio looks like. And we come in, or I came in here like 2 days ago, and one of our lights was knocked over, and I was like, great, try to turn it on, wouldn't turn on. So obviously I'm panicking, but Ian, Mr. Fix It All, Mr. Bob the Builder, just comes in and moves it around for 2 seconds and the light turns on. And I was like, okay, slay, Frank, you didn't break it. But yeah, keeping a kitten in the podcast room maybe isn't the best idea. Did you have anything pressing you wanted to speak on?
Well, I just know like the last couple episodes I've been talking about how my mental health has been like pretty bad,
Yeah,
and
let's
I
get a
was
mental health update.
in a little mental health update. There's like almost like phases of like grief. I think there's like phases to it, and I feel like last week and the week prior to that, I was feeling like a psychopath, and my thoughts were just crazy and all over the place, and just like really just feeling crazy. Where like now I know it's not good, but I feel like it's like working through it and it's okay. And now I feel like I'm in a little bit more of like a depressive episode where it's just like I'm not really motivated to be like getting out and getting after everything. Like I am like more tired. I'm noticing Kelly actually pointed this out to me, but like my appetite, like I have a big appetite. Like I am always hungry, can always eat. Like
yeah, like Amanda doesn't have the appetite problem I have. We just have a similarity of not being able to, not liking to cook and not really knowing what to do.
Yeah. And I've noticed my appetite. Like, I look in the fridge and I'm like, I don't want anything. I try to even think about stuff that I could like go and pick up for myself. And I'm like, I literally want none of it. And that's really out of character for me. And then like also it's weird the way like your body, because like I feel like mentally I feel a little bit better now. Like I said, my thoughts feel more clear and like stuff like that. But like now my face like has been breaking out and like my skin just looks bad. And I mean, I put makeup on and like obviously like
breaks out.
I
You're
exactly
turning into me and I'm scared about it.
No,
like,
and I haven't had like pimples in like over a year, I feel like, and now I just had 3 or 4 all of a sudden. Like I could only chalk that up to being like like
you're just going through it.
Yeah, a mental thing that's going on. And
and like the appetite thing, like because I like said when we were texting, I was like, it might be all the stress you're dealing with or whatever the fuck we want to label what you're going through right now, because it's not just like one emotion. It's like you just said, it's kind of like you're just going through all of the steps. Okay, well, thank you for that update.
I just
so
if anyone
vulnerable.
was wondering
how it's going.
Okay, he stopped attacking my hand, but I fear that I'm gonna have
she
scratches
has battle scars
all over me.
Oh my gosh. I feel like my mental health today is the first day of my follicular phase.
Popping that pussy.
Woo! She made it through the trenches. But no, my mental health has been just in a very weird state because I am graduating so soon, and like that's such like a relief, but like I need to just still get done with these last couple assignments, and I need to get my grad school application in by December 1st, which is just
coming up quickly.
Fucking heavy ass thing that's holding me down, but like I have all next week to work on it, and like I don't know, I think it'll be fine, but like obviously I'm just stressing about that, and it's annoying because I want to be feeling relieved and grateful for my degree, but instead I'm stressing about my grad school application, and it's so annoying, but that's fine.
I want you to get it done before. Oh, I guess you have to get it done, because I'm like, I want you to just feel happy about graduating.
No, I will. After December 1st, like I'll have basically everything done with school. I'll have that application in, and I'll be graduating in like 10 days. So like then I'll be feeling a lot better, but like I just can't even think about that being there yet, because the way I am with every semester, like including this one even more, is like I just have to have tunnel vision and get through it. I can't like think about the end, because then I feel super overwhelmed. And like I'm having a lot of people come for the graduation, which is really amazing, and I feel very supported and loved, but I'm also stressing because that's what my brain does about like what to do, and like I can't really think about what to do with everyone because I can't think about that point of my life yet, because I just need to get there. And so I was just like, this is when I just really wish that Ian was a good planner, because I just wish I could like pass it off to him. But like, and he was trying to help when we were talking about it. So like then the other night we were actually talking about it, and I just started bawling my eyes out.
What?
Like I was just so emotional, because it's like, first of all, I'm just such an emotional person, and like I'm really corny and like find like deep meaning and like the littlest things, and like just think really deeply about like a small situation, and I make myself super emotional about it, and like I'm really nostalgic, and like I just have all those things.
For sure.
And it's kind of like going back to what we were saying about me rereading my journal. Like I just love looking back and seeing the growth, and like moving here was so much for me. Like I'm gonna get emotional now. Like moving here just like really did like change my life. Like I was just so down bad mentally, and every day here, even though I still deal with all my shit, is like so much fucking better than a day in Florida. And so like moving here was huge, and then like going to CSU, and like again all the trauma I have from like school and my ADHD, and like not thinking I was smart, and like finding social work without, it's just all too much to even really put into
I'm
words.
really like so proud of you.
And like the friends is what's getting me. Like
I mean, I'm even like getting emotional now thinking about it too. It's like I really am just so proud of you.
It really is. Like it's just like a lot. And like when you're down bad and like you start to figure out your life in your mid-20s, like you can feel like you're behind the curve, but like luckily I don't feel that way, because like my friends are just like so amazing, and like I'm just so proud of myself, and like it is what it is. But yeah, I was just getting really emotional thinking about my friends, because like, and I was like, I can't believe I'm this girl that's like my friends I met in college changed my life. Like, they really like did. Like, they're just like the best people. And like, I feel like with it being social work and being like such a hard helping profession, like, and knowing my friends and knowing how qualified they are and how amazing they are and thinking about them doing the thing is just like,
yeah, that's really, really wonderful. I'm like so proud of all of you guys. I like am gonna be such a mess at the graduation.
Well, that's why I was like not stopping myself from crying the other night, because I was like, I can't hold this in, because at graduation I don't want to be like sitting there sobbing. Like, it's just like a little bit embarrassing. I know I'm gonna cry, but I don't want to be like sobbing, you know? And so, yeah, my mental health is just kind of like, it's hard to put a label on it, because I'm like excited, but I'm stressed, but I'm happy, but I'm sad. It's like an opening of a chapter and closing of a chapter.
Yeah,
it's just like
that all makes sense.
It's a lot of duality going on, which we love.
Yeah.
Which we love. So, yeah, it's just it's exciting.
It is super exciting. You guys are all gonna make such a difference in the world, and like, you're the people to do it. Like, yeah, it's really good.
It's so crazy. And then I like think about all the people that are in my cohort that scare me. But that's fine. We don't need to get into that.
Well, kind of a segue, because like my sister is like about to be graduating with her master's like semi soon, and we were at the football, this is like my airhead moment, we were at the football game the other day, and the children's hospital, my sister used to work there as like a room service person.
Room service.
She like people would call down and like order their food, and she would like, while they're staying at the hospital, and she would make sure like with the reasoning why they're in there, that all of their dietary like needs are met. Like, if you're in there for like certain things, you can't have this and whatnot. And so she's not working there right now because she's doing her internships and her rotations. But I was like, the Children's Hospital of Colorado is like kind of iconic. Like, I want her to work there again. And I'm like, wait, I literally have brain rot, because iconic is not the right word
like
to be
prestigious. Yeah,
prestigious. Yeah, like it's like a really good hospital and like well known, not iconic. Like, poor Children's Hospital. I mean, it like they're awesome.
Iconic,
yeah, and all the children there.
And I met a toast and she's like, well, they're actually going bankrupt. Like, okay, so we don't know anything, but this is the Intellectual Airheads podcast, so it's like we give half truths.
Yeah. And then I had another airhead moment. It's like kind of stupid, but I needed a new phone case, because I like got to the point where I hated my phone case so much that I couldn't even look at it anymore.
Just a blank purple case.
Yeah, and then I put a stupid sticker on it that started coming off, and I was like,
what was the sticker?
It was like a cowboy hat that I like got. But it was purple too, and I like got it in the mail with like something else I ordered, and I was just like, whatever. And I had to take my phone case off. I was like, can't even look at this anymore. Ordered myself a new one. That's how you know you have an old iPhone, when you go to choose the thing and they don't even have your phone.
Oh, they didn't even have it as an option.
So they had, I have an iPhone 13. They said iPhone 13 Pro, iPhone 13 Max were the two options. And I was like, I'm not seeing iPhone 13, so I'm assuming like the Pro is going to be like the same thing. The Pro's got the 3 cameras. I still only got 2 cameras. And so,
I think I was half listening when you told me that story, because I thought that you just like ordered the Pro. I didn't realize that there wasn't an option.
No, there wasn't an option. So I got a new phone case that fits now, so that's good.
Oh, you got one that fits? Let me see.
Yeah, it's under Frank right now. I'll show you in a minute.
Okay, but I need you to pull it, because I don't know if I have an airhead moment or an intellectual moment. I mean, my intellectual moment was kind of what I was just sharing about like graduating and stuff, because, you know, I'm smart and I'm learning things, and I only have 2 weeks left of my... Oh, is it the same one?
Yeah, but it fits now.
Oh, it looks so good.
I knew I wanted one that looked like this. And so I just looked again, and I found a different company. It was also $25 cheaper, this one. Oh. So that worked.
Look at that.
Yeah.
What's the website?
The first one that I got it on was Sonics. This one is just like a random.
Can you check the notes out?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, you want me to really go on Amazon and like look at the company that I got this $10 phone case on?
No, you were having an airhead moment while I was trying for you to see if I wrote down an airhead moment. My airhead moment is I don't remember if I have one, but I don't really know. It's just so annoying, because it's like I literally have airhead moments every single day. I had a lot last night when I was at the party.
Have like A few.
Let me have the
Oh,
phone.
wait, no. Okay, here.
Hold the phone.
No, Frank, you need to stay in
Sorry,
my
I normally
lap.
try to look at this. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, so basically,
No.
also at the football game, we had so much fun.
We
at
had
the Broncos
so much
game.
fun at the
Like,
Broncos game. Me and Kelly were like those friends where like everyone else is like having a good time and then we're just drunk in the corner, like actually having like a really good
Yeah, we were
time.
actually having fun, and the rest of them were pretending. But it was literally like we were in our own world.
Yeah,
and
because there was like 5 or 6 of us. Like when you're all sitting there, like
Yeah,
you can't
like, down
really
the
talk
row.
to
Yeah.
anyone besides the people directly next to you.
Yeah, for sure. And so and we also just like talked the whole time. And so I wasn't really listening to what they were all saying, and like the announcer people were saying, and they were like giving a moment to honor all the veterans and stuff. And so they told the veterans to like stand, but I thought we were supposed to stand like in honor of the veterans, like a standing applause, you know? And so I look at it, I'm like, oh, we're standing up. And I start to stand up and she pulls me down. She's like, you are not a vet. And I'm like, that is so embarrassing.
That's so funny. She
That's
was
so
ready to
amazing.
stand with all the veterans.
I know. And it's like, I couldn't be further from a vet. Like I could never survive anything military-esque at all.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, wait, okay, so the other thing, I don't really know how I'm gonna be able to describe this, but the other thing was during halftime, like, because again, me and Amanda were living in our own worlds. We were going to the bathroom when we wanted. We were going to get a drink when we wanted. We weren't waiting for halftime. So when halftime comes around, we and her are just like sitting there, and they do this relay race with all like a bunch of different, what do they call them? Like sectors, branches of the military. And so they had like Air Force, Marines, Army, Space Force, which we need to do more research on. If you know anything about Space Force.
Space Force was the thing. Sorry
Let
for
us
you Space
know.
Forcers, but like what?
Did this only start with Elon Musk? I feel like I remember seeing that. I don't know. What do you guys do? It's weird.
Did Elon really start a branch of the military?
I don't know. Not so much like, I don't know. I'm spreading lies, but let us know if you know anything about Space Force. And so we have a well, it's like kind of like in that gray area of family for both of us, but it's our family in Cassidy in the Air Force. So we were like, we're fucking rooting for the Air Force for the real
Cassidy
race.
will be both of our families kind of when
Soon.
you guys get married,
Yeah.
and Taylor and Liam get married.
I know, and it's like basically she is our family.
Yeah.
But it's just confusing because it's like, it seems like me and you are sisters when we
Yeah.
talk about, or like cousins when we talk about stuff sometimes.
I know,
It's like,
someone asked
we're
me-
not related, but everybody else in the situation is somehow related.
Yeah, one of my coworkers like asked me who I went to the game with, and I tried to describe the whole dynamic. It's so confusing.
There should be an easier word to explain it. But anyway, so it was a relay race against the branches and stuff. And me and Amanda got so into this freaking relay race, especially because we were trying to cheer for the Air Force. And they kind of did it right, where like it was kind of like going back and forth. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't the person that was in the lead the whole time. And friggin' Air Force came through and won
Like last second.
because
Like-
it was so funny. Where was that guy from?
The
Marines?
Army, I think.
Yeah, so the Army was like winning the whole time, and then the last part was like picking up their flag and then running all the way the football field back. And so the guy just like had his flag, and he was like obviously running fast.
Yeah,
but he was not running.
he wasn't running for his life.
Yes.
Like he didn't know that there was someone on his tail.
ass.
The Air Force was on his ass, and then they last second swooped right in.
Yeah, and the guy like you saw the guy like notice that someone was like actually coming up behind him. And then he started to kick it in gear, and it was too late, buddy.
Too
the
late,
Air Force
buddy.
was too smart for you guys. So yeah, that was the main thing. And then the other thing that I had written down, this was from last week that I forgot to do. Does your button still not work?
Yeah, it's more my phone.
It is your button. It wasn't
Yeah.
the case. Sorry. So I have a bestie, Flynn, and he sent me this thing on Instagram of wanting to go to this thing called Magic Hunks. So it's like Magic Mike.
Okay.
He sends me this thing, and like it was on an Instagram, so it was like the Instagram post, so like Magic Hunks was like put together, and then like I saw a hashtag Magic Hunks, so like that was like also put together. I'm sitting there on the couch with Ian, and I'm like, Flynn wants me to go to this thing called Magic Chunks.
Kelly.
I was like, I can't think of something worse than Magic Chunks.
I'm laughing so hard. That's hilarious.
It was so gross to me. Then I realized it was actually magic hunks, and then like in their bio, I don't know what was going on with me in this moment.
That is so funny.
Because then I realized it's magic hunks, and I'm looking at their bio, and it says like, "Come experience the real magic," and I'm like, "Oh my god, is this like supposed to be a Magic Mike thing?" But then they do magic. Like I thought that they were actually gonna do magic tricks, and then I just again was like, no, I think that the real magic is this sculpted man
for my
body.
bachelorette party, whenever that ends up happening, you should get like male strippers that are also magicians.
Yeah. I'm down.
That would be awesome.
I would love that. I would love that. It's like, okay, finally I can be impressed.
Yeah.
Like impress me.
Because I'm like, I really don't want you to just strip, but like if you want to have like a nice body and do magic, like I'm
that would
so
be
down.
amazing. That would be great. You can, yeah. I think that could be done in a really creative way too.
Tasteful.
Not tasteful. We don't want it to be tasteful. We just want it to be creative and funny.
Okay.
Frank is literally climbing our curtains like it's a jungle gym.
Well, I'm happy he's not climbing my arm anymore, to be honest, because I'm in pain.
Oh no, Amanda's in pain from Frank.
I was doing it for the pod and for you to not be stressed out.
I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, magic chunks. Yeah, so that was crazy. So do you want to go to that with me and Flynn?
Sure. If it's not
I think
like
it's at the Aggie Theater. I think it's like $25.
Okay.
Come see us at the Aggie Theater for the Magic Hunks show. I just keep seeing people online ask what the be like so against woke culture.
Yeah.
And then ask what the definition of it is. Like, I think that maybe I saw that it was Elon that asked what the definition of woke meant after like being on a whole anti-woke agenda.
Yeah.
You're the anti-woke agenda and you don't even know what the fuck it is. So like that just sums up everything about those people like to a T. And it's like really annoying that you can't lock your phone. And then
you have to be like gentle.
Oh.
Not your strong suit.
Oh, I did it when I was gentle. And then there's this girl, Camille Grammer. She was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she's also just like not a smart person. And she was like saying how like Housewives is getting too woke.
Oh my god.
And then someone like responded and was like, what definition of woke are you like saying? And she was like, this is a good point. There are too many definitions out of woke. Can someone tell me what it means? And I'm like, you guys are so annoying.
Yeah, it is really annoying.
You're so annoying. If I were to define woke, it's being aware of the systems that are super oppressive and furthering injustice and systematic bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying because any person in America will agree that our systems are not working.
Yeah.
They are not working. And that's all that it is to be aware of that.
Yeah.
And to fight against it. But people want to fight against it in weird fucking ways. But whatever, we already talked about how the different minds view the different things.
Yeah.
Like,
I did see a thing that was kind of, because not to get into politics again, sorry, but like there has to be some issue. Well, there is obviously of like the democratic system that like we lost to Trump. You know, like there's something so wrong with that they were speaking so poorly about in some way that like just couldn't get the message across to everyone, like what they were trying to say.
It's because they were trying to satisfy the wrong people.
Exactly. And they were like not taking a firm stance on things, and were kind of like, the way the person worded it was like speaking out of both sides of their mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like people just want someone that they know is going to be like upfront and like truthful about like where they stand. And it's like, how do you choose a side when like people are like flip-flopping a lot? And another thing that someone like pointed out was just like, we almost are getting like too caught up in like the vernacular and like the proper usage of wording, and like people are just like holding on to that and like thinking that they're like doing something good, where it's like, okay, like, yeah, we call like homeless people unhoused now, but we're not doing anything to help the homeless like population.
Oh yeah, don't even get me
it's
started on this shit.
Yeah. And so it was like saying that like the big cities in America, 2/3 of the governors there are Democrats, but they have the most like the biggest homeless population in all of these large cities. And it's like, we're
That's
like
something that
trying
like,
and like
say a lot.
Yeah, like saying that we're trying to do all this stuff, and then it's like,
yeah,
seems like
but also
too much talk and not enough do.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not giving any politicians credit because it takes a lot for me to do that. but there's also a higher tolerance for the presence of homeless people in those kinds of cities. Like places like that are more Republican will like go to their encampments and tear them all down and put them in jail and all this stuff. And so it's like those numbers aren't totally accurate because like there are things like that involved. But at the same time, trust me, like that's why it's hard, because it's hard not to be far left, in my opinion. It's really hard not to. Ian keeps me grounded. Sorry. So I like feel like, because I just was far left for so long, and I feel like, and it's not that I don't still have those values or beliefs or still believe in those ways of like of those approaches to things. I still do, but seeing situations and systems more realistically through my degree has made me realize that like I'm not gonna like get anywhere if I like like we have to start way back. But that's what like me and Ian were talking about. But it's still important to have the far leftist conversations.
For sure.
But they just don't need to be the face of the party, but they need to be heard because they are like long-term game. Like we need to be listening to the people that are far left in the way of like long-term goals and not like taking, because like what Ian is like, again, teaching me is like, it's not good to be extremist on each end. Like, it's just not good to be extremist. And like, obviously I'm not blaming people that are there because I believe that our circumstances push us to get there. And so it's not like you just wake up one day and you decide, I'm going to be extremist. It's like, no, you physically cannot take any more bullshit from your oppressors. So it pushes you to be an extremist. But like, I'm in a place where I think that I'm in a place of privilege where I don't think I need to live in that survival mode space. And it's still good to know that and to speak for those people and to share those voices. But it's also, we can't just start where we're at right now and start implementing those ideas. It's just, that's completely unrealistic. So I just thought that was so funny that people were like going against woke culture and then they don't even know what it means. If you can't describe something back to other people in your own words, then you don't understand what something is. And you probably shouldn't be so fully against it if you can't even explain what it is.
So don't take such a hard stance if you don't even know what something is.
And it's like the people that like are like saying like make America healthy again and like saying that that's what we're going to do is like by like banning vaccines. It's just like...
No, and taking like fluoride out of the water.
It's like, how about to make America healthy again, we regulate where freaking factories are so that people aren't dying of cancer or dying 15 years earlier than people that are 20 miles away from them. Like, how about like instead of that, we like try to make it so that people can actually go to the doctor. How about we do it so that people aren't dying of gun violence every day? Like, how about we focus on these things that make us healthy instead of, and it's like, it's even like the food stuff. Like, if you are complaining about your food, like, it's just like people don't even have access to food. People don't have access to grocery stores. Like, it's just so frustrating. Like, have you ever heard of a food desert? Like, people are arguing for things that are like, just even just the position they're taking shows how much privilege they have.
100%.
It's like you're going full hard on this holistic approach because of the COVID vaccine. Like, you don't know anything. Like, it's so frustrating.
Preach, girl.
And like the COVID vaccine, like people had a right to feel skeptical about it. Like it came really quick and like whatever. It was a weird time that we weren't trusting anything that we were being told. Like it was a weird time. But to act like every single vaccine, I don't know. I don't need to keep going on. It's just unbelievable. Frank, you literally...
I think we just need to let him rock because at least he's not playing with the wires.
Imagine if our whole thing falls down. All falls down. Kanye West.
Oh my God. We went on the way home. We did like an early 2000s like rap reminiscing and it was so much fun. I recommend.
Yeah, I wish that I wanted to like do it more, but then I was like thinking about how it was Liam's birthday, so I was trying to cater to like what he would want to listen to.
And then he wanted Sad Boy Mac Miller, which like I love Mac Miller, but it was just like we were also on a different level than everyone else.
Yeah, we were on a different level than everybody else. I guess everybody's taking the sober journey.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, is Dylan on? Sorry, it's just off camera, but like, is Dylan on a sober training?
Dylan, are you drinking?
Why is everyone sober?
I don't know, but
I mean, happy for them. Good stuff.
Yeah. So I don't know. What are you going to do today? Amanda texted me. You guys, we're recording this morning, but today's Amanda's day off. And I'm like, can we please record on Thursday? She's like, I just feel like I'm not going to do anything with my day if we record. I'm like, you're coming over at 10:30 in the morning.
I came over at 11. I'm not going to leave here until probably 12:31. And the one thing I wanted to do with my day off was go snowboarding. I'm all the way in Fort Collins. I'm not going to go snowboarding.
Are you going to go alone?
Yeah.
Amanda was going out to the mountains alone.
I was just like, I have this day off. I don't like know what to do with myself. Like I said, right now I'm kind of in this suppressive episode where it's not like, oh, let me run errands and go on a hike and go to the park. Like I'm just like not doing that. And I haven't gone snowboarding yet, and it seemed so fun. And I was like, this might be a good like solo, like peaceful activity. I have all these snowboarding playlists too that I've been making for the past couple of years, but I always go with people, so I never listen to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, this could be like kind of a nice day for me. I looked at the weather and it was like 46 and sunny. I was like, I'm not gonna be like super cold.
Oh my god, now I feel so bad.
But I
did not have time yesterday at all.
Yeah, and I just now today I'm just gonna end up not doing anything because I just don't have the motivation if it's not something like that.
So would you have gone this morning?
I don't know, maybe. Probably.
I can't wait to go ski.
Yeah,
ski.
no, I'm
If you see me and you want to say what's up, ski.
I'll put that on my. I have a hype disco snowboarding playlist. I have a rap shit snowboarding playlist. I have a vibey snowboarding playlist. So it's kind of like there's a bunch of different ones for all the moods.
I love it.
Yeah, but I think I need to also make a rock and roll one.
Oh, rock and roll. Also, leave a comment if you notice that I move every 30 seconds during the podcast, and Mana sits like this. Well, you're not right now, but she sits like this, perfect princess, the entire time, and I'm like slouched down.
Perfect princess.
I'm like all over the place. I'm just like, guys, I have ADHD and scoliosis. Your girl cannot sit still. That's for sure. Oh my god, I went to a Pilates class the other day and I was in such a bad mood. Sometimes like I feel like this is like a personality trait. Are you the kind of person that like will get mad at someone telling you, like almost like a trainer when you're working out?
In what way?
Like if they're pushing you, like will you almost like get mad?
Yeah.
I get so mad. I used to get so mad at Lauren when we would work out.
Yeah.
Because I would like think that she was doing it to be mean. Like literally, it's like you're just trying to be mean to me.
No, I think I don't know how I would feel in a way if it was like actually like a coach trainer. But if it's anyone that's like friend, boyfriend, anything like that, I'm like, do not tell me what to do. Like, do not.
And like normally in Pilates, that's one of my favorite things is that they're telling me what to do and like they're counting for me and they're doing. I'm like, okay, great. I don't even really have to think. But this class was just so hard, and the level 2s that I go to is at 6:30 p.m. And now with the time change, it feels like 9:30, and so I already have not wanted to go since the time change, but I still go because I have to. And so like this one, I was just really like, I don't want to do anything, and it was literally the hardest one I've ever taken.
Wow.
And it was just the only time it was making me mad was like when like I have no shame taking a break. Like I don't have an ego when I go in there. I am like, I am doing this for myself. If I want to stop, I'm gonna fucking stop, and I don't care. And so like, and that's like also an acceptable thing. Like in Pilates, it's the same as yoga. Like if this is your practice, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So it was just like annoying when like I want to take a break and I know it's okay, but then like the instructor almost like says something. This is level 2, like, you know, you signed up for a level 2, and it's just like
Ew,
it wasn't
like
directly
that.
to me.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't like directly to me. It was like just like a reminder to the class, you know, but it just gave me flashbacks of when I would randomly be in advanced classes and they'd be like, you guys are the advanced class. Like you guys, do you not remember that? See, because man doesn't remember anything from childhood. But in school, they used to always tell us like, you guys are the advanced class. You guys should be doing better. Those assignments that you turned in looked like they were from my on-level class.
Oh, wait,
like,
I kind of
they
can remember
used to
that.
say shit like that.
That's rude.
And it's so bad. It's so rude,
Yeah.
especially for someone like me who was in advanced classes and sometimes was in on-level classes. It was like, okay, now
For
I know how you're
sure.
talking about me behind my back, bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. School
stay right
trauma
here.
is So real.
Something that was like cute that one of my yoga teachers, they like do like their Dharma talk at the beginning, and she was telling me, and I'm gonna have to like think about the exact quote that she used, but it was like kind of like being aware of when you're already listening, and it was kind of the idea of like when someone, you have preconceived notions about someone, so you expect them to have this behavior, and instead of like seeing them where they like are, you're just expecting them to have this behavior. And sometimes that does even manifest the behavior because you know like the person is expecting this out of you. And it was just like, be conscious of when you're already listening, like when you're already expecting someone to act this way. And someone in her like retreat had an example of this, and she was a substitute teacher, and basically the people at the school were like, good luck with this class, like this is the worst class, whatever.
Oh my God.
And she's like a yogi at heart, and just kind of went in.
I love this challenge.
Yeah, and she went in and she was like, I heard you guys were the most interesting class, like I'm so excited to like be with you guys today. I heard you were so interesting and the coolest class. And they like had a completely like they were so engaged and attentive. And it's like, we need to be aware of like the expectations that we're like putting on people, whether it's like good or bad, and just like meet people where they're at. And I just thought that was so cute.
And that's like a big thing that they talk about in social work, obviously, because it's like, you know, you work with this client and like it could just be horrible every time, and like you really have to drop everything you know about the client when you walk into that door, because it's like it really affects the whole vibe of the
no, it's like you are manifesting that behavior when you're going in with that like notion.
And when I did like the camp counselor over the summer, they had us do like a couple of days of training, and they were mostly like talking like in a school setting, just because it's like similar to what we were doing in a way. And they had like this teacher who like did practice mindfulness and did do that approach of like actually letting go of all the preconceived notions she has of her students every day, and like just letting them show up however they're going to be that day. And her like having to like write people up or send people to the principals was like going down, and it was like so obvious. Like she was basically never sending kids out of her classroom, and then all the other teachers were. And so she ended up like training her fellow teachers on how to do it, and like now she like runs this whole thing.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. And so
wait, who is this person?
Just like it's just some random lady, I don't know. We just watched her training videos.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So it definitely is really important to do, especially like when you're working with kids, when you're working with people that are at risk, when you're working with people that are going through it, which is like basically every single person is always going through something. It's just really important. And I notice even with friends, I do that. Like, and even with Ian, like Ian surprises me all the time where I just think I just know you. Like, I just think I know you. And then he says something and I'm like, what? And you do the same thing. I just think when you know people for so long, you just think like, I know. And then they surprise you, because you also like, you know me, I project things onto people all the time. Like not even things like, it's not like a classic projection where it's like, oh, I'm struggling with this, so I'm going to tell you you're struggling with this.
No, not like
it's
that
like,
at all.
I just like, I put people in boxes to understand them, and that's obviously not good either. But it's like my brain just is obsessed with trying to understand every single thing and how people's brains work. And so when I meet someone and I notice similarities of people I already know, I then like put them in boxes. Like kind of how I would say like me and Ian and Amanda have the same archetype. Like I'll like do that a lot.
Yeah. Oh my God. So much.
All the time.
So much.
I don't really know if it's a problem. I think it's just kind of how my brain works.
But I tend to do that. But with astrology, do you ever notice yourself doing that? I feel like you don't talk about that as much, and you just try and like label people as like TV characters.
Well,
but
like, what do you mean? Like
with astrology, like when I meet like another Virgo, I like do tend to like put some other Virgo traits on them, but I also kind of use it as like research, like, okay, like what are you bringing to the table that is similar to this person? And I'm gonna like be like, oh, like that's definitely like a Virgo thing because I see those traits in you and I see those traits in them. And it's like, I tend to like feel like it's almost like research when I'm doing it like that, when I feel like you like kind of do just want to like be like, I understand this, so I'm gonna make you this. And
yeah, definitely that, because I more so incorporate astrology and people's zodiac signs when they do something and I'm like, that was so Leo of you, or that was so that of you, where like I don't expect them to have that behavior. I think because I have met and come across a lot of people that don't really align with their zodiac sign, and it makes me too upset because I really believe in the zodiac.
Me
so
too.
like I'm like,
oh my god,
so
yeah.
like when people don't align, so I wait to
it confuses the shit out of me. I'm like, how do you not?
Like, and somebody that's like that,
and
like,
Liam,
yeah, and it's like I don't know. I think
I'm
they
like
were raised too Catholic, so they were like in that.
No, I'm like, I'm like, no, I think you guys like have some stuff underneath that like can come out.
I mean, yeah, probably that too. But I don't know. It's just weird. Like, so I feel like...
Because I just have to believe that it's that.
I know. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I kind of just take people for who they are at first and try to understand how their brain works. And then as I'm like friends with them and I know their zodiac, I'll like highlight things about them that are aligned with their zodiac. And I also do collective for data. Like I think about all my friends and I'm like, okay, these people are all Virgos. What's similar about them?
Yeah.
These people are this. What's similar about them? But yeah. I feel like you said something else that made me want to. Oh, yeah. I don't know if this is a thing, but this is something that I've kind of gone off of like, because like Ian's mom doesn't align. Like she's nothing like an Aries. I mean, she is though. I just feel like sometimes if like you are religious or spiritual in another realm, like I just imagine like whenever we're practicing spirituality or religion, we're all connecting with the same place. I think I view it almost as like roads or avenues of like what you take to connect with that higher power. And so I feel like with them being so Catholic upbringing and Lisa being so Catholic, it's like she's taking that route. So she just has those qualities and values because when you're Catholic, you should act this way. And so I feel like that's why she doesn't really act like Aries. And I think maybe that's why Liam and Ian maybe aren't as much like their zodiac
that's a good
sign,
point.
because they were so in like that lane forever and like their religious and spiritual beliefs still align in a way with that. Obviously they're not like Roman Catholics, but like when they think about things, that's like how they were brought up. Those are
that makes a lot of sense.
Where like us, we didn't really have anything, and we found zodiacs in high school, probably definitely high school, and that was like the first time we were really tapping into a spirituality realm. And so I think that's why we are so Gemini, so Libra.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I think.
I just do think like even as like children, like people have just like an inherent traits like of their like zodiacs. But I do understand what you're saying with because Catholicism has this rule book of how you're supposed to act. It doesn't really give a lot to like
find yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
That being raised that way, why it doesn't probably align as much.
Yeah, and it's not like Ian and Liam are constantly policing themselves and they act
no,
like good
not
Catholic
at all.
boys,
not
but
at
it's
all.
Just like if we break it down really far, their feelings would probably be like more similar to yeah. But I know, and like that's why I love like my way of spirituality and like just basically meditating, because it's like everything you do is great. I just don't believe in the shameful route. I just don't think you could ever shame yourself into loving yourself. That would never make any sense to me. And so like telling myself if I do nothing today, I still am perfect, makes me be like, now I can do something.
Yeah, for sure.
Where it's like, you're a fucking piece of shit. You haven't gotten anything done that you said you were going to get done. God is disappointed in you. You like all this stuff. It's
100%.
like, I'm just going to crumble and lay on my couch
100%,
for longer.
100%.
So this episode, we've covered spirituality, politics. What else? What were we talking about in the beginning? Food, nutrition. We got into a lot.
We got intellectual
This episode. So you guys got to do your homework. You can follow us across all
I don't
platforms.
like you calling it homework.
Okay, don't do homework. Show us your love.
Yeah, show us your love.
Do your due diligence of pay it forward. Pay it forward. By following us across all social media platforms.
Oh my God.
At Intellectual Airheads. Why'd you say, oh my God?
That was loud.
Oh, sorry. Miss Loud Pants over here is going to call me loud now.
We're both loud pants.
The thing I just saw on Amanda's phone right now is like, you know when sometimes you just remember someone exists that you haven't thought about in so long? That's what just happened.
Oh my God, now I'm so curious.
Okay, love you all.
Love you. Bye.